in starting this format, I gave myself the promise that at the bare minimum, I will upload one field note video each month without skipping. But to be honest, my mind was really occupied with my biggest side project to date, that I totally stumbled upon by accident, but more on that later. April ended up getting by so quickly that I didn't record much footage throughout the month. Most of the time I was switching between being glued to a screen to get the side project going, but also reading books and spending time with the family in the countryside over the Easter holidays. So I started to dig deeper into LLMs and what they actually mean to me and where they can help me in my day-to-day business. And all that without losing my skepticism that I still very much have for what I think plenty of good reasons. But within my research, I started to use coding agents a lot more. So see, I don't have any formal background in coding, and I was always happy in the user interface side of things when I was a web designer back in the day, many years ago. But I never lost interest in working on web projects, and to this day I design my website for myself. But the backend side was always done in collaboration with developers. But still, playing around with these agents was so much fun, and within a short time I built myself a gamified project management tool that I quickly abandoned. I built a Linktree alternative with a nice backend. I built a tool to quickly generate model releases online and on my phone, which is super handy and saves me a lot of time. And then I realized that the only thing I use my full Adobe Creative Cloud subscriptions besides the photography tools was to lay out scenes in InDesign. And I quickly thought about the ease of use of Canva. Honestly, I asked myself if I could translate that easiness into a tiny layout app that needs to A, render pictures correctly in a nice layout, and B, spit out booklet ready PDFs that I can print here on the Xerox at the office. It took me 3 different iterations and approximately 11 million tokens, but in the end I started to become really surprised on the ease of use and actually the speed of the tool.
Here. Und I.
I gave it a few community features and made it possible to create scenes that are shared online as well, instead of only being printed at home or at a print shop. So what came out at the end of the massive rabbit hole was Small Town Zine Club, an app for making, printing and sharing your own scenes, as the pitch says. And actually it was really amusing for me that I was making something so anachronistic as a tool for home printed scenes with the help of a machine. April was less a month of commercial projects, but I was really happy to shoot an extensive documentary project for this German magazine that in many regards pushed me over my personal comfort zone a lot. I mean, the days on the project were so intense that I can really feel it in the finished pictures. For me, shooting this kind of portrait documentary felt a lot like, a full circle moment, coming back from trying to control everything, from working with bigger teams, which I totally like up until this day, to get back into the flow of exploring, noticing, of gently pushing into a direction, all of which I had to do in this documentary project. So instead of trying to manage gear and stage for the perfect picture, I found myself very much getting in the flow of being as close to my subject as I possibly can. And for me, it totally paid off. I can't wait to show you the finished pictures, but I have to wait till the story is released. On a Sunday, I met Tanit again, and this time outside of the studio in a nice location. We initially planned to work on a few ideas for 2 people, but her partner called in sick a few hours before, so we decided to go out spontaneously anyway. Because the weather was really nice, and I knew that we can find some ideas for one person only. In this shoot, I was looking for some sort of raw physicality. I was looking for energy and movement, and this has been a consistent topic in my work over the years. And one of the things that I always try to find is putting people in impossible, in awkward, in very physically taxing positions. I did the same a couple of days later with Francesco, who I found on Instagram and who was instantly up for playing with and on a few ideas. So I drove to Trier, again on a very nice, dry and sunny day, and I met him and Isabella, his friend, to roam the streets. I didn't prepare much in the beginning, but I took the time for a good 2 hours to scout the area around our meeting place, to look for different angles and possible positions. I also looked for the path the light would take and where it was safe to work on more demanding poses. So initially I brought my full day-to-day editorial gear backpack with 2 bodies and several lenses, but in the end I ended up with the most basic and for me actually one of the nicest setups that I ever used, and this for years now, which is my Canon R5 Mark II with my beloved 28-70 f2. So this is the camera and lens combination that gives me the speed and the confidence to explore, and also the confidence to get really close and look for angles and develop ideas on the fly. So it's a very spontaneous instrument, although I use it for commercial purposes as well. But yeah, I never had such a nice combination before. So it's the one thing that really takes a step back and gives me the room to create without overthinking.